clerk please call the roll?
Freeholder Amoroso.
Here.
Freeholder Gans.
Aye.
Vice Chairwoman Ortiz.
Here.
Freeholder Tonelli.
Here.
Freeholder Voss.
Here.
Freeholder Zur.
Here.
Chairman Sullivan.
Evidence of quorum is present. Will everyone please rise for the pledge of allegiance? County Executive Tedesco, can you please lead the pledge of allegiance?
That even changed on you, Chairman.
We put the flags on the other side.
Ladies and gentlemen, please honor America. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Our second meeting on the road this year will be held in 2 weeks on Wednesday, May 2nd, 2018, at 7:30 p.m. at Lyndhurst, at the Lyndhurst Township Hall, in the council chambers, 367 Valley Brook Avenue. The 4:30 work session on that day will still be held as usual here in Hackensack in the Calabrese Caucus Room. Before we begin tonight's meeting, we have 3 presentations. The Freeholder Board would like to recognize the winner of the Food Network's Kids Baking Championship, Lindsay Lamb, a student at Tennekill Middle School and a resident of Closter. Lindsay, I was going to ask you to come forward, but you're here already. So. You know this routine, right? I'd ask our Freeholder colleagues to come down and celebrate this wonderful occasion for Lindsay. In honor and recognition of winning the 4th season of the Food Network's Kids Baking Championship, which has an April 18, 2018, from the Board of Chosen Freeholders. So you know what that means, right? You have to cook for the Freeholders. So congratulations, so we'll get around, take a picture, congratulate you on such a wonderful, wonderful accomplishment. Yeah, turn it on, Mike. The county executive would also like to present you something.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Lindsay, on behalf of how well you cook, the people of Bergen County would like to say thank you and congratulate you on what you've accomplished. So let me just read a couple of little things in here, where it says, whereas in the finals, Miss Lamb's chocolate cake soaked in coconut cream and frosted with raspberry buttercream. In honor of Food Network's magazine 10th anniversary, earned her the title of Kids Baking Championship, $25,000. In Food Network magazine. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, James J. Tedesco III, Executive of the County of Bergen in the State of New Jersey, do hereby recognize Lindsay Lamb as the Food Network magazine cook. Thank you.
He's the big shot. You should have taken a picture of him. The county executive will.
Steve, how we doing?
So we'll get out of the way.
Yeah.
14.
So also, what we'd like to do is the Freeholders and I would like to give you a pin that represents the seal of Bergen County and the 1 million people that live here, and hope that you wear it proudly as a resident of Bergen County. Thank you so much.
Does anyone want to come up and take a picture with the Freeholders? County Executive? I'm going to need the address.
We're staying right here.
She's home baking.
I like this. Let's see. Look at this. It's right behind you. You're right. I like it. Look at that.
What does Steve do?
Fixing flag.
I can block the kids.
Anyways, get a timeout.
Congratulations again to Lindsay and her family.
Yeah.
Next, we would like to recognize the winners of C-SPAN's National Student Cam Documentary Competition. And the winners are Phoebe Ohm and Helena Merker. If I said that wrong, you're gonna fix it for me. For their film, Free Press, Free People. Mary Castillo and Jamie San Antonio for their film, Immigration in the Constitution. Your hard work and talent was on full display with your documentaries. I'd like to invite you forward for a presentation along with your family members that are here tonight.
Should have just
Just stay down there.
probably stayed up.
Good point.
Bergen County Academies, in the honor and recognition of winning an honorable mention prize in C-SPAN's National Student Cam Competition presented by the Freeholder Board this evening. Congratulations to all the winners. Great job. I'd also like to ask the county executive to come up and make the presentation as well.
Thank you, Freeholder Chair. There were 3,000 entries nationwide. This competition was open to middle school and high school students. There were 150 winners. So there are 4 out of 150 across the United States. They're the only 4 from Bergen County. And they're all from the Bergen County Academies. From the Bergen County Academies, myself and the Freeholders, it's one of the educational institutions that we're extremely proud of here in Bergen County. It's ranked in the top 5 in the nation in high school, as our other academy is ranked within the top 25 high schools in the nation. So the commitment that we have to education will continue, but this is the outgrowth of us supporting that education. So congratulations on behalf of the people. Jamie and Mary, and we also would like to present you with a pin of Bergen County. Hopefully you wear it proud on behalf of the 1 million people that live here, along with you. Congratulations.
Getting a picture.
He'll fit.
Any family members want to come and get in the picture?
There you go. Thank you.
What about animal shelter volunteers?
Yeah, should we stay down?
Animal shelter volunteers. Script. Does it need this?
Yeah.
You could do it right from the mic, right there. No, it's glasses. Here you go. There we go, taking care of you.
Well, for the larger group of folks that are here tonight,
You're not here for a budget?
Zero witness, they should.
thank you, sir. Sure, they're here for the budget because they're not going to get a tax increase if they live in Bergen County. So, at least the county tax increase. You want to read that? Sure.
We don't have the county executive go first this time. Our last presentation is recognizing the hardworking volunteers and foster families of the Bergen County Animal Shelter. These individuals go out of their way to open their homes to these needy animals until they are adopted into their forever homes. I'd like to invite you forward for a presentation of the county. Thank you.
So, we want to say thank you, because without you, we would not have the space in our shelter to house all these wonderful animals. And I talk to Deb on a regular basis, and what an outstanding job she does for And thank you for making a difference. Because not only are you making a difference in the lives of animals, you're making a difference in the lives of people. Because when the dogs and animals that you foster get adopted eventually, you're making a family happy, or you're making a person happy. And so you're making a difference in people's lives. And so the shelter does that on an hour-by-hour basis as people come in and need our help and our assistance. But all of you are volunteering your time to do this, and your home, and your place of residence. So on behalf of the people of Bergen County, I say thank you. Thank you for making a difference. That's what makes Bergen County special. That's what makes Bergen County the place that people want to live in and work in, because of people like you. So we get to say thank you. I know we don't get to say enough. I hope this piece of paper, will transcend to how much we really care about what you do for us here and the people of Bergen County. But on behalf of the million people that live here, thank you. Thank you for making a difference in Bergen County and in people's lives. You truly do. Thank you.
Debbie, can you come forward? We're gonna ask that you give all the commendations to everybody. We wanna say thank you so much for everything you do, to your staff, I know the Freeholder board. We recognize what you all do, and we're so appreciative. We know we couldn't do it without all of you. County executive, looking at all the proclamations. We also have a special commendation for Carol Morrow here. So the proclamations that I am going to read Linden County's benefit is his. They're all standard, and we just wanted to say in recognition of and with deep appreciation we are fostering animals in need, the Bergen County Animal Shelter and Adoption Center. We'd like to present all of you members with a commendation and say thank you, like the county executive said. There's really nothing else to say other than thank you. Thank you very much. So many is right. Thank you so much. Oh, you want to read?
There's too many, I'm just gonna give them back.
So everyone fill it up? Picture? Okay, great. Okay. So we're not gonna read all the names, but you know who you are. Back up. Back up. Back up. Back up. You guys come over here.
I wanna make sure you get the freeholders and I'll make sure. That's a donut father. Dan, you're in the back,
Julian, after this, they should bring up anybody in the audience who hasn't been in the picture.
Exactly. Anything up there. The other part of the county wants to get in the picture with the tree.
Tell it to Sullivan, he'll do
That's a great shot.
it. It is, look at that.
That's a great shot. They can get still and cut.
Good. All right, we're good, guys.
One thing, and I had to text you to do it, and I can hear it, sorry. Don't hurt yourself.
Still on the chair, bro. Hey, tell him don't leave. We got great good news about the budget.
I make them all stay.
Does Deb need help? Yeah, okay.
Excellent. We're not doing reports. Take it easy.
I'd like to take a motion for a 5-minute recess.
You're really cramming every.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We are in recess for 5 minutes. Okay, can I take a motion to resume the meeting, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. May I have a motion to open the meeting to the public?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimously approved. We will now have the hearing of the general public with a 3-minute time limit in effect in accordance with the Bergen County Freeholder bylaws. The board attorney will keep the time. When the time of the speaker expires, the board attorney will announce the time has expired. Please fill out the slip of paper with your name, address, and general topic which you wish to speak about. Thank you. County Executive James J. Tedesco III would like to address the Freeholder Board. Please come forward.
Chairman, just as a point of order, we're suspending the 3-minute rule for this presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
4 minutes.
Thank you, Counselor. Mr. Chairman, members of the Freeholder Board, tonight on the agenda is Resolution 330-18, which is the authorization on introduction of the 2018 budget. I'd just like to take a few minutes to thank all of you and to talk a little bit about the budget. First, I want to start by saying thank you to the Freeholder Board for introducing this budget tonight. I also want to thank Freeholder Gans for running the chair in the Budget Committee and running the budget hearings. I've had the privilege and opportunity to sit with Freeholder Gans to do that, and I believe that Bergen County has one of the best formulas in preparing a budget and then having the freeholders review the budget in the best interests of the people of Bergen County. So Freeholder Gans, thank you so much for what you did on making the budget hearings move forward in an expeditious manner, but also being fair and just as always. To the rest of the members of the Freeholder Board, thank you for giving up your time to come to some very early 8 o'clock meetings and some late evening meetings. But on behalf of all the department heads and all the constitutional officers, the education community, thank you for your diligence in this budget. The budget that you will introduce tonight has no tax impact to the people of Bergen County. So the portion of their tax bill that says county taxes, they will not see an increase on that portion of the tax bill. Not only that, but the rate at which the taxes are calculated, that rate has gone down for the second year in a row. And so when you couple those two things, the people of Bergen County, when they say they want tax relief, well, we can say that we delivered. We also delivered that while providing the services that are required for the people here in Bergen County. As you know, and as I know of you, our job is to help those that need help the most. And here in Bergen County, that's what we do. And even those that don't need help the most, but those that we know we want to help, we put money towards that. You just heard me talk about the Bergen County Academies and how 3.5 or 5 years ago there was a reduction in education funding by a previous administration. Well, when this Freeholder Board took the majority, they saw fit to change that. And I'm proud to stand here with you tonight to say we're continuing that. And we're continuing to fund education at the highest level it's ever been, both at the elementary and secondary level, right through community college. And you just saw the results of our efforts to fund the academies. And that's just the academies. When you think about then our special services school district and what we do for children with unique abilities, we are a leader. And all of you support that. And that makes a difference in the lives of those children. And as they grow up, we have programs that we've brought forward that hopefully will help them as they grow older and assimilate into the communities. We have health programs where we are now funding in tunes of millions of dollars for the opioid epidemic that the federal government has cut back on here in Bergen County. But you see fit, as well as I do, to know that we're going to continue to fund and continue to help those that have this horrible disease. You've taken on the challenge of mental health, and we're going to continue to fund those mental health programs that mean so much to those that need that. Law and public safety. We've committed to ensuring the safety of this community. But we're not just saying it, we're funding it. I spoke to the sheriff tonight. He wanted me to say to you, thank you. That he just had his hearing. He was I guess he was the last of the hearings. And he thanked you for doing the due diligence that you do, but making sure that he had enough money to protect the people of Bergen County. And even there, we have unique programs within the four walls of our jail where we're helping people that have an addiction problem not leave there with the addiction problem, but by actually helping them, by putting them in a Vivitrol program, so that when they leave there, we don't see them again, and we give them a chance. We're only one of 2 counties in the state that are doing that program. Our roads, bridges, which makes the county go, the infrastructure. You've committed additional funding for that. I'm happy to stand here today and say the road resurfacing program started 3 weeks ago in the middle of a snowstorm. Can't make this stuff up. $17 million is being devoted to resurfacing the roads in Bergen County. We have over 500 miles of roadways. And this will be the biggest expenditure in road resurfacing ever. Again, why do we want to do that? We want to do that because we want people to be able to travel our roadways without getting flat tires. Whether they're going to work or whether they're taking their child to school, that has not been seen or done ever in the history of this county to the level that we're doing it. Our health department. You've continued to fund our health department. And just 2 months ago, as the flu epidemic spiraled out of control, here in Bergen County, we opened our doors and allowed anyone to come in and be able to take advantage of a vaccination program. Not only that, we brought a doctor in, a pediatric doctor, to be able to deliver those vaccines to young children. And there are many, many more examples on the health side of what your funding, our health department, can do, that we'll do this year. On the human services side, you've continued to fund our veteran program. We now have a robust veterans department. Every day they're out now in the community working with our veterans to ensure that every one of them has a home. Not only a home, but today, Newbridge Medical Center had a Veterans Affairs hiring job fair. And I'm happy to report that they hired 3 veterans today. That goes in conjunction with the 7 veterans they hired in the first round that we did. So 10 veterans today have permanent jobs with benefits because of the work done by the County of Bergen. The shelter that we have here across the street, again, we are adding programs. We're working with Julia. When they came in front of you, they laid out some of the new programs that we're going to try there. Again, while we can take credit for eliminating chronic homelessness, there's still work to be done. And you've funded so that we can continue that work on behalf of those folks that need that help. Tonight, when you introduce that budget, I will be proud to be able to say thank you because you've helped thousands and thousands of people. And you've made a commitment to the 1 million people that live here in Bergen County that you care about them. And I say this all the time, and I don't mean it in a demeaning way to my other county counterparts, but that's why we're the best county in the state of New Jersey. Not only are we the largest, but we're the best. But it's because of the help of you. And as I've said to all of you, this is a team. While I'm the county executive, I have 7 friends and colleagues that think the same way. And you don't see the bickering, you don't see the fighting. What you see is progress. What you see is Newbridge Medical Center being led in a new direction, helping those that truly need help. Rutgers Medical now having doctors in the hospital helping people. Having Integrity House and Care Plus New Jersey as our partners. A year ago when I stood here, I didn't know if I was going to be able to say those things to you. I lost many a sleepless night. I knew in my heart that I made the right decision to not to sell that and to bring a new operator in. But I'll tell you, the journey was long. But in the end, it was right. And the operator that we have there today is making a difference already in 6 months. And why do we talk about, and I had the opportunity to talk about that today at an event, and I spent so much time talking about Newbridge. Why? Because it's the single most important thing that we've done as a body in 25 years. And that decision that we made will have effects long after all of us are no longer here. But they'll have positive effects on so many people. And hopefully, along the way, those that call that their home, 574 people, call 230 East Ridgewood Avenue, Paramus, New Jersey, 07652, their home. Some people have been there over 20 years. But we've made their home better. We've made their stay better. And those that now come in to get service, we've made it better for them. And now we're going to offer more opportunity for them to get better. And if that isn't the most remarkable thing, we now can have veterans go there. Literally, men and women that are hundreds of feet from the entrance in a state-run veterans home can now go to Newbridge Medical Center and get diagnostic care instead of placing them in an ambulance or a van and driving them to East Orange. Their quality of life just changed along with their families. And you all did that. And again, we've talked about it, but without the money and without the confidence, we couldn't have done it. We've just finished investing $20 million there on IT infrastructure. Why? Because it was never done before. And that was the difference between the operator before and the operator now. We're partners. And we control. The destiny is in our hands, and we control that. So when we get money, we now determine where that goes and how we can make better impacts. But we had to clean up some messes. And so $20 million is a lot of money. But I'm proud to say that it's now going to change the quality of life and what we do for those folks that ask for service. It's going to ensure that they get the services they need. It's going to ensure that the information that we have is correct. So, as I started, I want to end by saying thank you. Thank you for helping me, as a team member, make a difference to the lives of the people of Bergen County. Because we've done a damn good job, and we're going to continue to do that job. So I thank you in anticipation of the vote that you'll make tonight. But let me say, I want to thank you on behalf of the million people that call Bergen County their home. Because as I started, they asked for tax relief. We're giving them tax relief. But we're also making do on the services that they all asked for. So, Chairman, thank you for giving me the little more than 3 minutes.
I was just about to gavel you.
Yeah. And I look forward to the vote on Resolution 330-18. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, County Executive. Okay. Before we take the next speaker, I'd just like to say on behalf of the Freeholder Board, everyone's going to, all my colleagues will touch on their points during their vote. But I just want to say, as the chairman of the Freeholder Board, it was a pleasure to work with you, and David did a great job. You know, you included us in everything, and we appreciate that, and we are a part of it. But it takes a leader, county executive, and you are our leader. And you've led since day one. Probably one of the best things you did was when you had me replace you, but other than that, but all seriousness, you said from the beginning that we had some kinks to work out, and down the line, we were going to be more responsible and be more in tune with the residents of Bergen County, and this is exactly what happened. So I'm sure all my colleagues will comment under the a vote, but I personally want to say thank you for a job well done. Thank you very much. Okay. Joseph Dunstey.
Good evening.
Well, good evening, sir.
I noticed with Resolution 322-18, you're providing the dental care to inmates at the Bergen County Jail. I hope the patients living at the Newbridge Medical Center also get dental care, because I remember Bergen Regional did not provide that service. But I came here to talk about another example of how mad people can be silenced. I had a friend who I met at the Wellness Center back when it was on our own. He was in a war-torn country when he was a child, and his family eventually ended up in New Jersey. And he always strove to take care of himself and his family, and he did not see himself as crazy. But he had a lot of struggles, and he faced a lot of discrimination there on account of his culture being different and the way he looked being different. And it reached the point where, after many months on the street and bouncing back and forth between couches and shelters, he went last fall to the newly opened wellness center and just sat on the floor and, you know, expressed his disdain for everyone there. It was peaceful but unpleasant. And instead of calling the police to have him removed from the property as the manager decided to call an ambulance to have him taken to the hospital. I know you can wash your hands of what the wellness center does, but when someone gets taken to the hospital, 262 Help, you know, rubber stamps that process, and the employees at the Newbridge Medical Center decided to keep him for a couple of weeks. And his placement plan involved sending him out of the county, which would have disrupted his family life very much. He ended up crashing on my floor for a few days when he got out so he could try to figure out a better system. But it's another example of how, instead of calling the cops and seeing it as just what normal people do sometimes in difficult situation. They called an ambulance so that they could portray it as a biochemical problem, not a situation, environmental problem or desperate times or a problem with social interactions and the way people were treating it. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Joe. Paul Nichols?
Good evening, Paul Nichols.
Good evening.
Good to be back and see you all. I was just going to be brief. I just wanted to introduce a concept that you may have heard of in other states. Similar to Code Blue, it's called Code Red. And it's it's just like our heat thing, but we don't really, one thing that annoys me sometimes and we all watch TV and you'll see New York City and even anywhere like on the regular mainstream media, you'll see, oh, it's getting hot, bring your pets and care for your elderly. What about homeless? So just a concept to think about. Maybe Code Red is similar in the sense that, like when you have the heat wave thing, 3 days with 90 degrees, and you open the cooling centers, and I know the center does do stuff during the day, but in the last few years, it's been getting hot at night even sometimes for, stretches too. So just something to think about. And I know New York does something but they're a right to shelter state, so they do, they automatically, anytime someone needs to go to shelter, they can go there, the center or wherever. But, a lot of people that are homeless are on medications, and medications and heat do not mix. I know when I go out in the heat, I get very dizzy sometimes. I got to drink a lot of water, and sometimes I just can't be in the heat for too long. So it's just something that we might want to think about. And it's nice to be back, and I'm so looking forward to the new care fair, the next care fair. I'm hoping that every spring, that'll let me know it's springtime, that there'll be a care fair. Maybe we'll do it every year. I still look at that video that I made. It looked really cool. It was huge. And it's going to be huger. Yeah, it is. So I'm really tired tonight. I have more things to do, so I'll leave you, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Paul. Your haircut looks good, by the way. It looks good. You got it. Clayton or Clayton? Can you spell your last name and your first name for Kim, please?
Last name or first name?
First name and last name.
Okay. Kleidon, and then it's Ndreu. Those presentations were amazing. I love the county executive speech. Thank you, sir. What I came to talk about tonight was at my school, we've had an ongoing voter registration drive, and we've gotten about 93 students registered with some help from the Bergen County clerk. A wonderful visit from him. My question that I had for you guys was, what are some ways that we can increase voter turnout now? Because I assume you've all ran elections. And I know I know the governor signed in a motor voter law very recently, which might make the process easier for registration. So what are some ways we can increase voter turnout numbers now?
I don't think you're gonna have a hard time getting people out in this election. But I guess the only way you can increase that is through education. Right, we continue to post, we continue to try to get the word out. We send out press releases and all these kind of things. So really, other than going to their homes and taking them there, I don't know what else you could do. But education in every aspect is always the key.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. Is there anyone else wishing to be heard? Okay.
Oh, we have,
Oh, come on up.
They only get 2 minutes because they didn't fill out a slip.
Yeah,
So you're not getting 3 minutes each, just saying.
well,
Yeah.
He's only kidding. Go ahead, stand there. He's only
No,
kidding.
you talk.
My mother-in-law, Mary, said you could have as much time as you want. Go ahead.
Could you say it again louder so we can hear it, please?
Yeah. Hello, I'm Annika Eski. I'm part of the Bergen County Academy's Environmental Science Club. We all are.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us. Our goals are to help people attain a healthier lifestyle and promote for a cleaner environment. And we would just like to bring the issue of single-use plastic bags to your attention. These plastic bags are used all the time, and most people are aware that they're detrimental to the environment. However, while recycling and reusing plastic bags is definitely a good start, and many people do that, it's not nearly a good enough solution, because the problem is not only the fact that they end up as litter so frequently, which is never a nice sight, but there also are emissions that are released when these bags are manufactured. So as you'll hear, several towns in Bergen County are already beginning to get on board with the idea of placing a 5-cent charge on single-use plastic bags in order to encourage the use of alternatives such as woven bags or canvas bags. This type of single-use plastic bag charge is commonplace in many European countries especially, as well as in many counties in the US. And there are also some statewide bans on single-use plastic bags that have been passed, such as that in California. So we're just hoping that you will join our cause and follow the example recently set by, for example, Atlantic County, and consider banning plastic bags at county parks, or also bringing this up in your own towns. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Zarina Al-Shahab, Zareena, Al-Shehab. EHAB.
You could have your own 3 minutes, too. Don't listen to that.
Good evening, I'm Zarina Al-Shahab, and many people ask us why we are aiming to reduce the use of plastic bags in our community. So we have compiled a list of facts that we thought are very surprising and have opened our eyes to the damage that plastic bags have already done to our environment. Did you know that Americans use 100 billion plastic bags a year, which require 12 million barrels of oil to manufacture? And it only takes about 14 plastic bags for the equivalent of gas required to drive 1 mile. Target gives away enough plastic bags a year to wrap around the Earth 7 times, and the average American family takes home almost 1,500 plastic bags a year. And according to Waste Management, only 1% of these plastic bags are returned as recycling, and that means that the average family only recycles 15 plastic bags a year. The rest end up in landfills and as litter. Up to 80% of ocean plastic pollution enters the ocean from land, and at least 267 different species have already been affected by plastic pollution in the ocean. 100,000 marine animals are killed by plastic bags annually, and 1 in 3 leatherback sea turtles have been found with plastic bags in their stomachs. It takes 500 or more years for plastic bags to degrade in our landfills, and unfortunately, they don't actually biodegrade, but they break up into, but instead they photodegrade, and they break up into microplastics that absorb toxins and continue to pollute the environment. 2 million plastic bags are used each minute worldwide, meaning 1 trillion plastic bags are consumed by the world in a year. So it's up to us, as the concerned youth of our generation, to put a stop to this before plastic bags do even greater damage to our environments. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me, zarals21@bergen.org. Thank you.
Thank you.
Lena Memon, Leena-Memon. Okay. Hello. Okay. Hello. My name is Lena Memon. I'm also a student at Bergen County Academy as a freshman, and I'm part of the Environmental Science Club. I'm also a member of Teaneck Girl Scout Troop 19, which, if you haven't heard, last summer we convinced the Teaneck Town Council to place a fee that is 5 cents for every single-use plastic bags you buy at a Teaneck store. So you may wonder, after 4 years of work doing the initiative in Teaneck, why am I back again doing more plastic bags? Well, it's simple. As mentioned before, plastic bags don't completely decompose. They just break down into microplastics. And they also don't recycle easily. Even the 1% that you put in the recycling bin at the store or in front of your house for the recycling companies to pick up, they don't always end up being recycled. They clog up machines and end up as litter or in the landfill anyway. So this is why a ban or fee is necessary. We need to reduce our use of plastic bags. We hope that each and every one of you try and have similar legislation introduced in your town, or have a ban or fee on county parks here in Bergen County. So together, we can make an impact on our environment. Thank you.
Can I see your note sheet?
Thank you very much.
It's very small.
I can't believe you could even read that. I just had to see it.
That looks like me on my test.
That's how you got through high school.
Did you write the cheat sheets with Freeholder Tonelli when he was younger? Try that.
Gavrilova. Okay, so hello, my name is Anna Gavrilova, and I'm also here to discuss the use of single-use plastic bags, and I'm going to specifically focus on the impact that has on the economy. And so the use of single-use plastic bags poses a significant threat to the environment, and so we know that measures need to be taken in order to decrease their use. So we have spoken with several businesses throughout Bergen County to gain an understanding of their opinions on how a 5-cent charge would impact their business. And to this question, the manager of Jackrabbit in Ridgewood has stated, "I don't see how it would affect our business in any way." In addition, after the ban of single-use plastic bags in Rye, New York, a Rye country store manager has stated, we didn't have a decrease in customers, and I think that more people are happy to help the environment, proving that this ban should not affect business. In fact, also jurisdictions in San Jose and San Francisco, which are locations where plastic bags have been put to a ban, have reported no sustained negative impact on local retailers after implementing the charge. And so with the ban of single-use plastic bags not posing a threat to business, and with several cities globally and like in the United States having begun to enforce 5-cent charges on single-use plastic bags to save the environment against the negative effects of them, we ask for your help now to help us basically bring it out and put the 5-cent charge to help our generation and the future generations to come.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We will have our administrator.
Are you all freshmen in high school?
Yeah, how old are you guys? You're all freshmen in high school?
Wow.
Sophomore? Well, first I want to say thank you for having the courage to come up here and talk to us, and we really appreciate it. So thank you very much. All right, congratulations. Is there anyone else wishing to be heard? Seeing none, may I have a motion to close the meeting to the public?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. The meeting is now closed to the public. Will the clerk please read the resolutions on consent agenda?
Resolutions of consent are 293-18 through 329-18, 331-18, 332-18 through 334-18.
May I have a motion to accept the resolutions on the consent agenda as read by the clerk?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Roll call.
Freeholder Amoroso.
Yes.
Freeholder Gans.
Aye.
Vice Chairwoman Ortiz.
Yes.
Freeholder Tonelli.
Yes.
Freeholder Voss.
Yes.
Freeholder Zur.
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan.
Yes.
7 ayes for the consent agenda.
Are there any resolutions of non-consent pulled, postponed, or tabled? If
Yes,
so,
there
will
are.
the clerk please read?
Yes, there are. There's one resolution of non-consent. That's Resolution 330-18, the resolution authorizing the introduction of the 2018 budget.
Okay. Before we vote on this, is there any freeholders who'd like to speak on this resolution? Freeholder Tonelli?
Thank you, Chairman. So there's a lot of people to thank. First of all, thank you, Freeholder Gans, for chairing the Budget Committee, my colleagues for the time and effort that was put in, going line by line on the budget. I just want to build a little bit on what the county executive said earlier. The fact that he's only mentioning the one accomplishment, although it's a monumental accomplishment and it's something that will, 20 years from now, like he mentioned, we're still going to be talking about. What I want to focus on is I want to focus on the work that's been done and the groundwork that's been done and laid because of your leadership and your efforts with the department heads, with the county administrator, and this freeholder board that has now set the groundwork where these budgets now are coming in responsibly to the county. It's not by accident that we're sitting here again tonight with not only a budget that doesn't increase taxes, but actually a budget that's less than, that we're giving them a reduction. That fact is not gonna go unnoticed by myself, and I know my colleagues won't let it go unnoticed as well. But this didn't just happen by accident. This was the groundwork that you hit the ground running when you took over. The realignment of departments to make them more efficient. I mean, I can rattle off 50 things right off the top of my head that we've done, that you've done, that have put this county in good financial stead for not just last year and this year, but for years to come. So I don't want you to just continue to tell people that it's all about Newbridge Medical Center. I want you to make sure you tell them about all the other things that you've now set in place for this county to thrive in years to come. So I will be obviously voting yes on this budget, and I know that my colleagues will have individual things they wanted to say, but I think it's very important to realize how we got here, not just through the budget process, but all the steps that were taken to put this county in the position it's in now. So thank you very much, County Executive. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Zor, would you like to add anything?
Thank you, Chairman. When I ran for office initially, we talked about budgeting being a description of priorities, that budgets reflect our priorities. And this budget that we're going to vote on tonight, I think really does reflect the priorities of all of us on this board and this administration. Because not only are we delivering a tax reduction, not only are we being great fiscal stewards for the residents of Bergen County, but we are making sure that we meet the needs. We are providing for the safety of our roads, the safety of our law enforcement and first responders, and our communities in general. We're providing for increases in education and veteran services, and job skill creation and economic development. And we're doing this because we've really held the line on our costs. We've really made sure that we're delivering more for less, that we're delivering efficiencies. And that's in part by making sure we had cuts in prescription drugs and making sure that we had more shared services and more savings and interest. These are all of the nuts and bolts that came together under Chairman Gans's strong leadership on the budget and the administration and the county executive's leadership to really make sure that we delivered a good budget, but more importantly, delivered good services for the residents of Bergen County. I couldn't be more proud of what we have accomplished in this budget process, but really over the last 4 years to make sure that we're poised to deliver even better going forward for the residents of Bergen County. Thank you very much, Chairman. Thank you, County Executive.
Thank you, Freeholder. Mary, would you, Freeholder
Sure.
Amoroso?
Yes.
Forgot your last name for a second.
Yes. Thank you, Chairman Sullivan. We are all proud of this budget, and we are proud to have worked with the county executive under the expert guidance of Chairman Gans. No tax increase. That's a great thing to be able to say. And we did this while funding and celebrating the priorities that define us: education, mental health, those with disabilities, veterans, keeping up the fight on the opioid epidemic, and as County Executive Tedesco said, helping those who really need the help. That's what county government can do. A lot of this budget was about streamlining and efficiencies. County Council developed a strategy to maximize our in-house legal staff and minimize long, drawn-out legal back and forth that doesn't result in much except expenditures. Somebody lost something. Our financial guys went back through the old books to find unused bonding that we could apply to new projects. We centralized and rationalized things like printing and advertising, IT, and the phone system, all little nuts and bolts that keep county government running and that costs money. We are not tax and spend. We are hold the line on taxes and still spend wisely to do good for our constituents, our municipalities, and our community organizations. Thank you.
Here, here.
Thank you, Freeholder Amoroso. Freeholder Vice Chair Ortiz, would you like to say anything?
Sure. Thank you, Chairman. I'd first like to thank Freeholder Gans. Thank you for leading us. It was definitely a nice, smooth budget. What I appreciate most of our budget hearings, and I know they're long and tedious, but we get to not only do our due diligence and go line by line, but we get to speak to the department heads, have them update us in all their departments, and educate us in all their initiatives and their goals. So it's an education process at the same time, and yet we can do all our due diligence. And this did not happen overnight. This was a 4-year commitment to bring a budget that we have today. And I got to thank you. Thank you very much, County Executive Tedesco, to your administration, to my colleagues, and all of us that work together to bring a budget. And not only a budget that does not, there's no increase, but also preserving and enhancing existing services to our most vulnerable, and especially education. I'm very happy to see the college back to where it is, and to all our mental health and opioid epidemic. And like you said before, this team works together, and that's why we have progress. And I really look forward to the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder Ortiz. Freeholder Dr. Voss?
Thank you, Chairman. This budget was very well thought out and very well executed. And I think Chairman Gantz, this was what, your 12th budget? And so we had very good leadership. But my passion in life is education. And I think tonight, right in this chamber, you have seen the fruits of our labors. Those young ladies who spoke last, sophomores and freshmen, so articulate, so well-informed. I mean, I just can't tell you how pleased I am. The young ladies who also were the producers of films, these are products of our Bergen County Academy, but we have so much more. We have the VOTEC school in Teterboro. We have the vocational school in Paramus. These are schools that are training kids for viable careers. And God bless all of the teachers at the special needs school, because those children are going to need a lot of care in the future. But I went to, I think most of us went to a luncheon at Bergen Community College, which is the gem of Bergen County and the gem of all the community colleges. And here, I think they have 167 programs, all of which are designed to prepare people for jobs. I'm so proud. As I said, I'm passionate about education, and I'm passionate about telling the people of Bergen County what wonderful things our county executive is doing to make life better. I want to make sure that everyone knows about the Care Fair, which is May the 6th, because when I speak to people, so many people don't know the services that are available to us, and so it's sort of our job to educate. So from my perspective, education is everything. And educate the people in your school about how important it is to vote. And as I said, education is the key to everything. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Freeholder Gans, you want to speak on this resolution, on this?
I'm going to say very little. It occurred to me that
You want to speak on the budget, Freeholder?
only on the budget.
Right. We're on the budget right now, right?
I'm going to speak
Okay.
only on the budget,
You
Chairman.
show us how.
Are you in there?
I'm in there. It's amazing that I'm in that picture that was taken 50 years ago. And it's what the budget is all about. Most importantly, I want to say how important each and every freeholder was, and each and every freeholder aide was to the budgetary process, and the administration as well. This was not a singular effort of one person, one man, one woman. This was an effort that was made by everyone who participated in the process. I know that you didn't want to get up for an 8 a.m. meeting.
No.
Believe me, I know that.
Talk to Joan about that.
I didn't want to do it either. And I didn't want to go to the evening meetings. And for a while, I thought we would have to have Saturday and Sunday meetings as well. This wasn't about about having back-to-back no budget increase. This is about the philosophy of Jim Tedesco, which is going to set policy for a generation. I'm very proud to be part of this team, and that's actually all I have to say, Chairman, about the budget.
Thank you, Freeholder Gans. I will say thank you to you once again. Thank you for running a smooth ship during the budget hearings. I want to thank everyone that was involved in the budget. Our Administrator Julian Niels, who did a great job, Mike Bellucci, Joe Lapino. I got your back, Jim, no problem. Of course, the county executive. I mean, we're delivering a zero budget, but I think people need to realize it's the second year in a row where the tax rate's not increasing. Obviously, this is a culmination of the work that we started when we all got together 4 years ago. We did all of this, and we still were able to increase spending on mental health, education, and addiction services, things that really affect the quality of life in Bergen County. So we maintain what we do and add to it, and yet we don't add to the tax increase. And that's because we do a lot of other things. We do shared services. We renegotiate contracts. We renegotiate the bonds that are out. I mean, it's just not, again, like this was said already, it's not an accident. These things happen for a reason. And the reason is that this Freeholder Board, with the leadership of our county executive and our Freeholder chairman of the board for the budget, along with everyone up here, really takes this seriously. And we couldn't have asked for better professionals that we've added throughout the years. This guy sitting right next to me is just phenomenal guy. We all know how intelligent he is, and it's great to have people like that guiding you through the process. But he'll be the first to tell you that it's a team. It's not just him, it's not Jim, it's not us, it's a team. And the best part that I like about the way we work together is, the county executive said a lot of times we have the same ideas. We do have the same ideas. A lot of times we don't, though. But we work together to come to something that needs to be done for the county in the best interest of the county. So even if we don't have the same ideas, we have the same goal. And how we go about getting there, we make sure we get there for the residents of Bergen County. This isn't about us, this isn't about anyone other than the residents of Bergen County. So I thank my Freeholder, my colleagues, all the staff that was involved, county executive, and that's why I will be voting in favor of a zero budget. I don't know anyone that could vote against it, but I will certainly cast my vote in the positive. One other thing, though, the last thing I did forget, county executive, is another reason that we're able to do what we do. We have a 5-year look-ahead plan for capital improvements, something that you gave to us. And without that, we really don't know where we're going. But when we have an idea of where we're spending the money 5 years down the line, it helps us put together a budget that is responsible and that works for the residents. So thank you for that, sir. Okay. Anyone else have anything else to add? Julian, like anything? No?
Well, just briefly, and it's been said, but county executive, first and foremost, vision. And I think a lot of people take it for granted that there's not vision in government. But I think what this body, and I say this governing body, meaning the freeholders and the county executive, should really take a lot of pride in, is that the vision has always been what is truly in the best interest of the taxpayers. And literally putting your money where your mouth is by the benefits that we've seen, the advancements we've made, the revenues we've been able to bring in, this year is a culmination of a reinvestment in the taxpayer to see the benefit of that. We didn't squirrel it away for future years to show some artificial fruits or success, but where the taxpayer can actually walk away from it and feel it in their pocket and show that government is actually working for them. And that zero there is clearly evidence of that. And I just say another point the chairman made, it is truly a team effort, but the team always needs a leader and a visionary, and thank you for that. And it's been a pleasure just to be a part of it. And it's going to be exciting to see where we go from here.
Thank you. Can the camera just zoom in on that zero real quick for everyone to see it at home? Anyone get that?
Then away.
I guess.
It's a masterpiece.
Look at that. This is what we're introducing tonight for the residents of Bergen County.
God bless everyone.
It's the best picture Ed Florio ever took.
I felt like Vanna White.
May I have a roll call on 330-18, please?
Freeholder Moroso.
Yes.
Freeholder Gans.
Aye.
Vice Chairwoman Ortiz.
We need
Yes.
a motion and a sponsor and a second.
I would love to
Make
make
a
a
motion.
motion to
I'll
move the
second.
budget.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
You got me flustered there.
Oh, it was the zero that did it.
Yeah, it was the picture.
All right, now roll call, thank you.
Freeholder Moroso.
Yes.
Freeholder Gans.
Aye.
Vice Chairwoman Ortiz.
Yes.
Freeholder Tonelli.
Yes.
Freeholder Voss.
Yes.
Freeholder Zur.
Yes.
Chairwoman Sullivan.
Excuse me?
That's why you're surrounded by women.
It's the zero.
Is that another revelation?
Kim, can you strike
all-
that from the record?
We all couldn't
Move
agree.
the strike.
Couldn't agree more.
Chairman Sullivan says yes.
That would be 7 yeses.
Thank you. Are there any Are there any resolutions pulled, postponed, or tabled?
Yes, Resolution 335-18. It was a resolution that was a duplicate from a prior meeting.
Thank you. We'll now have Freeholder Committee reports. I'm sure there may be one or two other things we'd like to add, so Freeholder Tonelli, why don't you go first, if you have anything?
Thank you, Chairman. So just a few quick things. One is, last Sunday, I attended North Arlington's Access for All. It was their third annual Lighted Up Blue event. And I know this board is really proud of the work that's been done by the county executive and this board with the stigma-free zones and the Access for All committees that have opened up in many, many municipalities in Bergen County. So it's really great to be invited to these events and celebrate with the individuals as they raise money and awareness for autism. So it was a great event, very well attended. And the only other thing is I just want to mention 30818 and 30918, two resolutions where we received some Green Acre funding to pretty much come close to completing Overpeck County Park. Those renovations needed to be finished so that some of those areas that were not accessible, hopefully someday will be accessible. Thank you.
Thank you, Freeholder Zur.
Thank you, Chairman. So many of you know that I am terrified of heights, yet last week I managed to rappel down a building to raise awareness for autism.
And I have it on film.
It was one of the scariest things I've ever done, but kids with autism overcome far bigger challenges every single day. And Alpine Learning Group does tremendous work, and I was really pleased to raise money for autism. And also, I was really touched by the support of my colleagues on this board, and of so many people who encouraged me on to overcome this fear. I now know that I can check that off the bucket list and never do that again.
Never again.
But I know that next week, as we all vote on a resolution for autism awareness, and we also are we lighting the building up blue this year as well? Yes, we are. As we also are lighting this building up blue. It is important for us to realize that there's a lot that still needs to be done to provide service for those who are uniquely abled within our community. That being said, right now we are also accepting project search applications at www.thebergenworkforce.org/project search. And it is an opportunity for young adults with disabilities to have unique internship opportunities, immersed in a work environment where they get portable job skills. So if you have, or someone you know is looking for an amazing experience, this is the time to get it into your IEP, this is the time to make those applications.
What's that email address again?
It is bergenworkforce.org / project search. I want to. There were two people who were honored this week that I just want to bring attention to. Freeholder Voss was honored at the New Milford New Milford Education Foundation. Well deserved for her lifetime of advocacy for education. And my parents were honored this weekend by Temple Emmanuel and Cliff Lake for their lifetime of leadership and community service. It certainly was something fed to me with my Wheaties of the need to give back to our community and build a community, be stronger. So I was very proud of them and proud of their acknowledgement, and you know, it was really a meaningful experience for our family. And likewise, I also want to just thank. This morning we were at the Bergen Field Senior Center, thanking all the volunteers at the appreciation breakfast. We have a lot of volunteers, as we saw here this evening, for the animal shelter. There are so many people who really enhance the services that we provide here in Bergen County, and we all need to say thank you to them on a daily basis. And also, one thing I forgot to say during budget presentation, I want to thank every single division head, department head who came before us. County Administrator, you prepared a great team in giving us all the information and providing us all the detail. We asked hundreds of questions requiring a lot of backup information. They really not only explained it to us, but were passionate about the work that they're doing on behalf of the residents of Bergen County. So please pass along our gratitude for their role in this process. And that is the end of my committee report.
You sure that's it? You
That's
don't
it.
get on this?
All
All right, thank you. Freeholder Amoroso.
Okay. Well, again, applause to our wonderful freeholder, Dr. Joan Voss. We were there for her award from the New Milford Education Foundation. And, you know, she is the teacher to all of us.
Thank you.
And can speak on any topic at the drop of a hat, which is a wonderful capacity. Also, Freeholder Ortiz and I were there when we saw Freeholder Zur at the top of a 6-story building with a harness around her, as you were too, right? And you know, the fear in our hearts, but she did it. She got down and helped to promote autism awareness.
She said you were doing it next year.
Yeah, yeah, right? Oh, dear.
I'll go with you, Mary.
Today, we went to the Northwest Bergen Senior Center to commend all the many volunteers up there. Our senior centers are such wonderful places, and everybody's happy, I guess, when they're having their lunch, unless they're there to complain about too much salt in the meat or something. But, among the volunteers was a woman who teaches line dancing. So we'll have to get her in after the budget for us. Also, I want to point out that Paul Aronson of Ridgewood, he was just named New Jersey's Disabilities Ombudsman. And as Dr. Voss said, Bergen County Care Fair is coming so soon, May 6th. 225 exhibitors expected, maybe 1,300 or more attendees, and it's a way of marketing all of the services provided both by Bergen County, our community organizations, and our hospitals. That's my report.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Chair, Vice Chair Ortiz.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm also going to discuss Bergen Community College last week had a lot of events on the 12th. They are celebrating their 50th anniversary at the college, and we started the morning with some of our colleagues, and they had the Asian American presentation, and our keynote speaker was our very own Attorney General Gual. He gave quite an inspirational speech, and he was unbelievable. So sad to see him go, but yet an asset to the state of New Jersey. After that, the Bergen Community College had a legislative lunch, and there were many mayors, and we had different legislators throughout the county and the state that came to visit the college. We had presentations by the president of the Council of Community College, Dr. Aaron Fitchner, and we also had a presentation by our president, Dr. Redmond. And they discussed, like Joan said, 167 programs. And we were lucky enough to have a delicious meal prepared by the students of the culinary school there and at the college. And then we also got a very nice tour of the school because it was also their open house for all the students and the parents. So I'm very proud of the college, and if you still haven't bought your tickets, tomorrow is the gala for the scholarships, and I'm sure there's still some available at the Venetian tomorrow at 6 o'clock, if you can make it. I also attended the Northwest Senior Center, and it was just so nice to see so many volunteers, because they are truly the heart of the center, because they could not function without them. And Andrea and Melissa, the director and her assistant, they just do a miraculous, I mean, they do just an unbelievable job. And I always enjoy going to our senior centers. And I think that's a wrap up.
Thank you, Freeholder. Freeholder Voss, anything you'd like to add?
Absolutely.
Oh, wait, one more. I just wanted to say, you could be the new Spider Girl, Tracy.
Yeah, there we go.
And congratulations, Joan.
Thank you so much. As many people know, I am an animal lover, and Deb Yanko from the Bergen County Animal Shelter does a fantastic job. I can't tell you how wonderful. And there were so many volunteers here this evening, and she said, we actually have twice as many. And so a lot of these volunteers are like foster parents until we can adopt out. And we had 1-day-old kittens here that this young lady was nursing with baby bottles and stuff. And so my advice to you, I have 5 cats, okay? And if you don't want to take tranquilizers, if you don't want to take pills for anxiety, get a cat or a dog, but cats are like the tranquilizers of the Western world. I was very much taken aback when I got a phone call a couple of months ago that the New Milford Education Foundation, which is just a newly formed organization, asked me to be their Humanitarian of the Year. And I went, wow. And it was because, well, several years ago, one of their teachers, Colleen Tambusco, and I were on the first committee to write Holocaust education curriculum for the state. And she still is taking tours for the Holocaust education program. She's on her 18th at this point in time. And the state of New Jersey mandates Holocaust education. The other person that nominated me was a young man who ran against me for Freeholder last year, Ray Cotier. And I was like, wow. And I said, good politician. And it was a really wonderful event. And thank you, my colleagues, for coming because, you know, I always say I get by with the help of my friends. And they have a wonderful superintendent out there, Mike D. Logie. And all the schools are really starting to pay attention to VOTEC education, which is a passion of mine. Just as an aside, Barbara Bush passed away the other day, and her big thing as First Lady was literacy. And I have to say, I'm very much involved with Project Literacy, which is teaching adults to read, because in Bergen County, we have over 100,000 adults who really don't read or don't read well. And so this is only for adults. And so reading opens up the world to you, and it's like our mission in life is to educate everybody as much and as often as we can. On a personal note, I have to thank the Fort Lee Volunteer Fire Department. Jimmy, these firemen saved me, literally, on Monday. We had very bad rainstorm, and I have a large house which is built on rock. And I went down at 8 o'clock in the morning, and water, literally, waterfalls of water were coming through the cement block of my house because the ground was saturated, it had no place to go, and it was gushing in. And this is not the first time, but this was the worst time. And I've never called 911 in my life, ever, ever, ever. And I called and I said, I can't stop the water from coming in. Well, lo and behold, 3 fire engines and 10 firemen, most of whom I taught, came to my house to rescue me. And they literally saved my house because it was, I've never seen anything like this happen. So when they said, warning, flood alert, remember, we get floods in New Jersey. So I just want to thank the Fort Lee Volunteer Fire Department for saving me, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Freeholder Voss. Budget Chairman Gans?
Believe it or not, I don't have a lot to say. I just want to say, however, what a pleasure it was to work with each of the freeholders, the staff, Mr. Belushi, County Administrator. These are the people who made the budget possible and who frankly did the bulk of the work. I'm not saying I wasn't there at 8 o'clock. but
Thank you.
That's all I have to say.
Thank you, sir. Don't want to rehash everything that was said here. Just thank you, everyone, again, for the work on the budget. We all work together, and we all work for the residents of the county, so. The county has also entered into a shared service agreement with the Borough of East Rutherford on a construction project in the borough on Carlton Avenue. A large grant was awarded for the project, with the county and East Rutherford splitting the small remainder. Taxpayers are again saving money while repairing infrastructure. This is what we do here every day, and this is why we're successful at what we do. These are the reasons, as I stated before, how we help not only the county portion of the tax bill, but the municipal portion. So all the residents should really be aware and really speak to your mayors and councils, and, you know, we offer many shared services. Please get on board, okay? I want to congratulate Joe Lagana, who was sworn in District 38. I can't believe you forgot that, okay? It's not like forgetting your family or nothing, but it's all right. But Joe is a friend, and Joe's done a great job, and he will make a tremendous senator. He just called me chairwoman, so. It was a great job, as Freeholder Voss had mentioned, by our Bergen County first responders for their work during the terrible storm on Monday. You know, the county executive always has his hand in storms. He's there for every storm we have, imaginable. But let's give credit where credit is due as well. All our team of first responders and all the county employees that worked to help the residents of Bergen County, I want to say thank you for everything you do. Freeholder Voss, I want to say thank you to you for allowing me to present you with your award at the New Milford
I meant to
Education.
say thank you to
No,
you.
yeah, I don't want thanks, honey, I'm
I
thanking
wanted you to roast me, though.
She wanted me to roast her, and when I said one thing, she got mad at me, so I stopped.
Yeah.
Right? But I couldn't think of anyone more deserving of the award. Your commitment to education is unparalleled, and it was an honor for me to be there to present to you. Thank you for that.
so much.
Thank
I
you for that
appreciate it,
honor.
all of you.
Freeholder Zor, I want to congratulate your parents, who are just wonderful members of the community on their award, well-deserved. So, you know, my best to them, and they raised a couple of good kids as well. So, congratulations on that.
Talking about my sister, at least.
I won't bring Amy up by name. Oh, sorry. I wasn't here for the work session tonight where you honored some heroes. And they pulled people out of a fire in Edgewater. And I just want to say on the record, thank you to them. And we need more people in the world like these individuals who didn't even think about, but just jumped into a fire to help others. Just an extraordinary thing to do. I just want to say thank you to them. And then the last thing I want to do is congratulate my daughter, Jaden, who struck out 13 today in Pascack Hills Wing.
Wow.
Okay? She takes after her father. Thank you, Freeholder Tonelli. And she also had a double, but I want to thank her and her team, who did a wonderful job today in securing their 4th victory of the year. And that concludes my Freeholder report. Thank you. Is there anything else? I'll take a motion to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.
Okay.